On May 18, 2025, the stage lights of American Idol Season 23 glowed brightly, casting a golden glow over John Foster, the country crooner from Addis, Louisiana, as he stood in the spotlight after the conclusion of the competition. There was a palpable sense of expectation in the air, and the cheers of the audience were like a tsunami of support. The performance that John had just given, which was a passionate rendition of his original song, Tell That Angel I Love Her, followed by a rousing tribute to Toby Keith that brought the house down, was one that would be remembered by millions of people. John, with his weathered cowboy hat and deep eyes, had just brought the house down with his performance. John Foster emerged as the true heart of the season, a runner-up whose path was defined not by a championship, but by sincerity, resilience, and an unshakable connection to his roots. Although Jamal Roberts would go on to win the championship that night, John Foster emerged as the true heart of the season. His deep, honeyed voice and unpolished charisma grabbed judges Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, and Carrie Underwood when they heard him perform in a small audition room. This was the beginning of John's rise to fame on American Idol. John had no problem with the concept of laborious work because he was born and raised in a place where the murmur of the Mississippi River is louder than the radio. His profession was that of a mechanic, and he had spent years working on engines in the heat of Louisiana, singing to himself over the sound of tools clanging together. His audition song, which was a raw acoustic cover of Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey, was more than just a performance. It was a confession, with each note carrying the weight of a life that had been lived with grit and grace. It was unanimous among the judges that they gave John a standing ovation, and Luke Bryan's remarks rang true. "You're the real deal, John." At that very moment, a flame was ignited, which propelled him onto a national platform. As the tournament progressed, John's performances evolved into a showcasing of his outstanding narrative abilities. Whether he was channeling the bare essentials of the Jungle Book on Disney Night or pouring his soul into Tell That Angel I Love Her, a ballad composed for his late grandmother, John had a flair for making every lyric feel personal. He was able to do this in a variety of ways. According to one remark, his performance at Disney Night was described as a connection so real that it gave me chills. Fans expressed their adoration for him. The power of his unique work to soothe the soul was appreciated by another individual. Particularly in a season that was characterized by polished pop stars and powerful performers, his honesty struck a chord with the audience. Not only was John pursuing the truth, but he was also pursuing trends. However, the path that led to the conclusion was not devoid of obstacles. There were times when John was uncertain about his abilities, particularly during the top 10 round, when he was placed in the bottom 3 due to his poor performance of a pop ballad. She urged him to sing from your scars, not your shine. He confided in Carrie Underwood behind the scenes, and she encouraged him to do so. He began to repeat those words to himself. In the following week, he made his return with a stripped-down rendition of Toby Keith's Should Have Been a Cowboy, his voice shaking with the intensity of his natural feelings. The crowd exploded in applause, and social media was flooded with messages of support. One post on social media declared, "John Foster just honored America with power and pride." Not only was that performance a return, but it was also a declaration of who he was as an individual. Before the conclusion of the show, John had developed into a self-assured musician, having gone from being a timid vocalist from a tiny village. While he was standing next to Jamal Roberts and Brianna Nix, he recognized the gravity of the situation, but he also had a sense of calm. The highlight of the trio's performance was the ensemble performance, in which their voices blended together in a harmony that one person referred to as power. When John thought about it, it was a reminder of the friendships he had developed, ones that would endure long after the tournament was over. This smile on John's face was real when Ryan Seacrest declared that Jamal had won the competition. After that, he expressed his gratitude to Us Weekly by saying, "Man, what a true blessing it is to share this idol journey." His voice was rich with emotion. The users expressed their fervor on several platforms, including Reddit, where one user remarked, "John Foster was robbed." The true winners were his heart and soul, the speaker said, and further individual referred to him as the well-deserved runner-up, a remark that was echoed by a Facebook post that celebrated his country roots. It wasn't simply his voice that was the subject of the outpouring of affection, it was the man who was behind everything. John's concerts, which included both his national anthems and his delicate originals, had presented a portrayal of a man who carried his home, his family, and his religion in every note that he played. After the conclusion of the competition, John made his final appearance on stage, although this time he did not do it as a contestant, but rather as an artist with a message. When he was addressing his admirers in Louisiana and beyond, he expressed his feelings by saying, "This is not the end, it's just the beginning. It is my intention to continue singing for all of you, for Addis, and for every tiny town that has enormous dreams." His statements, which were reported by K945, were a vow to continue creating through music and to continue expressing tales through music. He made a reference to his trip on American Idol by implying that he will soon release a single, and he intends to visit local venues in order to convey his music to the people who helped him succeed. A perspective that was influenced by humility was given by John as he reflected on his experience on American Idol. In an interview with Screen Rant, he stated that he had not anticipated the winner, but he did not feel any resentment over the outcome. During the conversation, he stated, "It is not about knowing the end. It is about giving your all to every moment." His entire run was based on that principle. The performances that John gave were gifts, each one a piece of his soul that he provided to the world. Whether he was paying tribute to Toby Keith or calming hearts with his own unique songs, John's concerts were presents. While the 23rd season of American Idol is quickly becoming a thing of the past, John Foster's career continues to climb. When he returns to Addis, he is no longer simply the mechanic who plays the guitar. Rather, he has become a hero to his community, a representation of what it means to pursue a dream without sacrificing oneself. His music, which is rooted in the sounds of country music and the spirit of Louisiana, is gaining new listeners, as seen by the fact that posts about his final performance are still buzzing 3 weeks after it took place. In addition to working on an extended play, EP, that promises to convey the raw emotion of his journey through American Idol, he is organizing a short tour that will begin in Baton Rouge. The crown of American Idol may not have been won by John Foster, but he did win something much more significant, the hearts of millions of people. His story serves as a reminder that the journey of the runner-up of a competition can sometimes shine brighter than the spotlight itself. John carries the soul of season 23 with him in every chord he strums and every phrase he sings. It is a soul that will continue to reverberate long after the lights on the stage have gone down.